Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to be working on the Stargate parts. I guess this would be considered part 3 of Stargate. I made like a playlist, but I was doing the Stargate, my Stargate cabinet, and I was doing the other Stargate cabinet that I turned into that Tetris. So looking back at the videos, I would say that this would be part 3 of the Tetris. The first 2 parts I did my cabinet, the bodywork and paint work of it. So now we're going to start prepping these parts for paint. We're going to tear apart this coin door. This lower coin door, I need to weld in these 4 holes here. Somebody had a lock thing on there at one point. We're going to have to retexture this door because it's got like a bunch of scuff marks and stuff all over it. We'll probably just end up doing the texture on this door as well. This door is a little dented in the middle. I'll tell you what, man, that's pretty common. It seems like every time I work on a Williams game, the center is dented in, like somebody kicked it in. They must have really been, people must have really hated Williams games or something back then. I'm not quite sure, but, and then obviously we got to straighten this lip here. Somebody tried to pry in there and get to stuff. Actually, I got to grab a pair of pliers or something to get that nut off of there. Let me go grab a pair of pliers. Let's strip this down. And then we'll weld the holes on the other coin door, and then we will work on prepping them so that we can get them painted. I'd like to just paint them tonight and be done with them, both of these, and these couple parts I have over here on the stand, or on my garbage can. I'd like to get this board painted for the monitor, and just these couple brackets, which they're in good shape. Just a light sanding, and we should be good to go. So, I'd like to get all these painted tonight. These are just regular satin or matte finish Krylon on all that stuff. On this, we're going to use the Krylon textured paint, which I'll show that to you before I paint it. I don't know that I'll be able to get this bow out of the door. Once we take the interior part out, we'll try to push it down and see if it stays. Chances are I'll push it down and it's going to pop back the other way. So we'll see what happens. Okay, let's pull this coin door apart. Let's get this old lock cylinder out of here first. Yes, I cleaned my workbench. I swear I clean this thing daily. I actually spent a couple hours yesterday and cleaned the whole entire shop. And of course, I tucked my welder away in the corner of the tool room. Now I got to pull it back out, so I got to move a bunch of stuff. Forgot that I needed to weld those couple holes up. This is garbage. So these are real simple to take apart. There's not much to these. For the most part, it comes off in a big, that's kind of weird. For the most part, it comes off in a big piece. And then you could separate them into smaller pieces, but I don't think I'm going to. This is actually in really good shape, all these pieces. I don't think I'm gonna do really much anything with that part of it. So if that's the case, we only need to take off these 2 3/8 bolts right here, or nuts right here, and this whole back plate's gonna come off with all the wiring on it. Maybe I should take the wiring off and soak it. That other stuff turned out real nice. Actually, there's 3 nuts at the top, I'm sorry. I forgot there's always one in the middle. Yeah, maybe we'll soak the harness. If that's the case, we need to unplug this components. This is the slam switch. And we just have our, oh, we're missing a couple wires right here are cut. Oh no, they're right here. So those are there, but these wires are cut. Don't know what those ones went to. That I'm not positive about. I don't know if, I don't know. I'll have to look at my other Williams games. Okay, we got one zip tie to cut, and then I will soak this stuff. Mine as well. So then this just lifts off. Or, oh, you know what? I gotta take off these top bolts. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe you do have to take this apart. I forgot. I haven't done one of these in a while now. Yeah, you have to take these. I don't remember. To be honest with you, I just don't remember. Or is it just wedged in there? I think it's just wedged in there. Sometimes you gotta trust your instincts. I knew that those didn't have to come off. I knew that that was all part of the plate. That's all right. These you have to unscrew. And then these, we're just gonna, this one's missing the outer plate right here. More likely, I'm sure I have one. And this one has, yeah, we're just missing the outer plate on that. So we'll see. Polish those up or whatever we do to them. Oh wait, the outer plate's in there. It's stuck in the part of the housing. These we want to paint. Yep, there's the front plate. So we can technically reuse these, and I have some new 25-cent things. Might have to super glue that one together though, it might be broken. All right, we just gotta take out these 4 screws that hold the door onto the frame. And then we can see if we can straighten this. We gotta straighten the edge of the door out. And I don't think that center is gonna pop down, but it might, you never know. I don't wanna go hammering on it a lot because I don't really wanna put dents in it that I gotta do body work on. These are little machine screws. They're very small. I don't even know what size they would even be considered. A 2, 3, 4, something like that, I don't know. So this, see that? That's what causes, it's like almost impossible to fix, but let's beat this edge straight first and see if maybe that helps. Man, they pried it all the way up to there, and that bracket's in the way. Oh, that's working. Use the back side of a claw hammer. So I set up all those parts last night on the tables down in the basement, and I realized that I totally forgot that our youngest son is going to be having a Halloween party next weekend. So now I got to take all those parts in those two tables and put them in the back room for the weekend, and then take them back out and put them back in the arcade. Okay, so you can see how bowed this is. Just goes like this. Wonder, never had much luck straightening these, but I'm almost wondering if I hammer on this edge downwards, maybe that would pop it back. Not really. There's got to be a way to fix that. Edge looks pretty good. It's called oil canning. It happens on cars all the time. Let me go grab a rubber mallet. I don't want to use that because that's just going to leave dents. I think I just got it. No freaking way. I've tried that see, it went back in. But I've tried this so many times and it just never works. Now it's wanting to stay out, but as soon as you push on it, it goes back in. So I wonder if I can do a little bit more hammering and get that to actually stay out. Almost. I gotta repaint this. I wonder if a little bit of heat from my torch would fix that. Let me grab my torch. So I have it pushed inwards right now. So it's kind of concaved again. Let's see if a little heat will pull it up and keep it up. Might have to put the heat on the back side. Now that's making it worse. Maybe a little bit better. That's hot. Ooh. Well, it's not wanting to spring anymore. Oh, there it goes. Tell you what, it's better. It's definitely a little better. I'd like it to pop with the heat. Just what it is, it's just a shitty design. That groove in there should have been deeper and thicker, and it would strengthen this up to keep it from doing this. It's just crap design. I can live with that, because I think once that back plate goes on there, it's probably not going to want to do that as much. But it's not physically wanting to go in and stay in now. It's bouncing back, which is a good thing. Damn thing is hot. Just curious if this was bolted on there, if it would stop that. Just put one in the middle. Fixed it. Got it. It looks good now. Nice and flat. Awesome. I think I'm actually going to leave that bolted on there for a few. I'm going to put away a couple of these tools and go grab the welder. We'll weld in those while this is cooling, because I think I'm going to let this cool with this plate mounted to it. Maybe that'll help keep it, you know, shape that it's at right now. Okay, got my welder out. We got to grind the paint away from the area where I'm going to be welding first. So I'm going to use this little hamburger disc here. You can buy these for your drill and stuff like that. So I'm going to get this paint out of here so that we can weld it properly. I'm going to get my safety glasses out. And let's get it ground down, and then we'll get it welded. Okay, here you go. This is how you do a metal repair without having to do any Bondo work. As you can see, perfectly smooth. You can actually see where the plug welds are, barely, but they're perfectly smooth. You can't feel it. No grinding marks, no nothing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand down the rest of this door, get all the texture off of it. I don't have to get exactly all the paint off of it, but I want to get most of the texture gone. Actually, let me rephrase that. I want to get rid of all the texture, but if a little bit of paint is left, that is okay. So I'm going to go ahead with my sander here and sand the rest of this down with 80 grit and get it ready. And then I'll do the other door too. Okay, everything's sanded down. I'm going to blow everything off and hang it in the spray booth, and then we're going to paint them. The oil canning on this, completely gone now. So once I got it to get in the right direction that I wanted it, like flat, I bolted that metal on there, and once it cooled, it's perfectly zero flexing anymore. It's nice and flat. So hopefully that'll help you guys out if you want to try that method. I've done it before on car stuff, just never thought to try it on the coin door, but it worked well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all this hung up. We got a texture of the coin doors and the plastic pieces for the coin doors. The other stuff is just regular smooth paint. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna use for the coin doors and the coin door chutes and stuff like that. This is Krylon Fusion all-in-one paint and primer, but this is textured black. We're just gonna put a couple light coats on. It's gonna give it a little bit of a texture. It's not the exact texture that the coin doors had on it from the factory, but I like the way it looks on my games, so I use it. It dries quick, so after a couple light coats of this, then we move on to the regular Krylon 5X all-in-one paint and primer. You can go over the bare metal, you don't have to primer first. We'll top it off with that, so all of the sheen is the same on all the parts. So let me shut the mixing room door, and then we'll get the first coat of textured, only on the textured parts first. Okay, the two light coats of textured are on. About 10 minutes, we're gonna go out there and put the first coat of regular Krylon on. On the little pieces for the coin door, I only put one coat on because those are already textured. The plastic has texture in it, and so does the little coin return chute things, doors. Those already have a texture in the metal themselves. So 10 minutes, we'll go out there, put the first coat of black on, and then one more second coat of black, and we're gonna be done with these parts. So I think what I'm gonna do first is actually I'm gonna go out there in like 5 minutes and shoot the back side of the coin doors with the regular black and all the other parts that haven't gotten any on there first. And then I'll come back and we'll do another coat on all of it. Okay, that's drying. That first coat of spray paint started dripping out of the cap all over me. I just kept using it. I said, screw it, might as well not waste it. It was already half gone. But it looks real good. I'll show you that coin door where I welded those holes. Can't even see them one bit. No body work, no nothing. Just weld, grind, smooth, paint. That textured covered it. Now the difference between that textured and what the texture they originally had was, the texture they originally had was a little bit thicker and it was more dispersed, I guess you would say. It was more intermittent, more here and there. This is more of a finer texture and it's more consistent. But I like the look of it. I think it looks really good and it doesn't bother me that it's a little bit different. I think the original textured stuff was powder coated if I remember correctly, and that's why it peels off the way it does when rust starts forming underneath it. That's the downfall of powder coating over time, is if it's in a moist environment and you get any sort of a chip on the edge of powder coating, once that rust once the air hits the metal and it starts rusting, it wicks up behind the powder coating and then it just peels off in sheets. So we can go take a look at this in a couple minutes, see what it looks like, and then that's going to end this video. And then the next video, we have a few more parts to do in here. We got the we got the back doors that we need to do and paint those black, and then the speaker grill and stuff like that we need to do. And then after that, I got to rebuild the power brick, clean it and everything for the Stargate, and then do the rest of the power brick for Kickman. I did find a power brick for Kickman, so hopefully that'll be here this week. 2 people had messaged me about it. The first guy got back to me first, so I went with him. And so now I have all the parts to make the power brick complete for the Kickman. So basically the only thing left to do on Kickman then is going to be, I got to make a wiring harness. After that, I mean, we pretty much will put the game together and I'll make the wiring harness towards the end. I think I'll get the PCB and stuff mounted in there, get all that stuff ready to go, and then I'll do that at the end. So give us a couple minutes and we'll take a look at it so you guys can see what it looks like. All right, let's take a look at them. So this is the back side. You can see a little bit of where the holes were on the back side, which I don't care about that. Kind of, there it is. You can kind of see a little bit of grinding marks right there. And then the front right here, nothing. Can't see nothing. But you can see how the texture is a little bit more sand type of a texture. Now these marks you're seeing over here are just like, especially over here, there's spot welds in the metal. But it turned out real nice. I'm happy with it. So these are all ready for the basement tomorrow once they're dry. Even these little parts look good. Like I said, these already had a texture on them, so it only needed a little bit just to kind of match everything else. And these are the little doors that go on the coin returns. Once again, those are already textured from the factory, the metal itself. So, all right, guys, that's going to end this one. I believe it's part 3 of Stargate. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. I always try to respond to everybody. If you guys haven't subscribed and this is something you're interested in, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up, I'd really appreciate that. And sharing the video to anybody that you think might be interested in this kind of stuff would greatly help. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you guys later.